We're all going to face different fears, right? All of us have. As a mom, I hear these stories about parenting and moms and the fear that we carry as women for our children in the future. For me, it's always been this idea that I need to release my kids because I don't want to be a helicopter mom, right? They're still teenagers, but as they go into adulthood, I don't want to be afraid about their decisions. And so I have to remind myself that God's perfect love casts out fear. So I have to remind myself, Lord, your perfect love for me, your perfect love for them. If you took the wind out of my lungs today, your love does not increase for my family. God's love is as big and as bold as it is ever going to be right now.
Yes.
And so when I think that way, I think, you've got them.
Yeah.
You've got them. You've got me, you've got them. And I'm able to rest in that.
Yes.
But
Sometimes whether you get the answer you want or the answer you don't want, you discover God's faithfulness is the same. I remember when our son Christian was 3 or 4, and I took him to the doctor because I knew something was wrong, and I couldn't, and they kept saying, no, he's fine. I'm like, no, there's something wrong. And they ran some more tests, and then they said, we will have the results by tomorrow morning. And I said to my doctor, what does it look like? And he said, I'd rather just wait. And I said, I'd rather you just tell me right now. And he said it looked like it could be leukemia. And I'll never forget driving home, and Christian said that night, can I sleep in bed with you? And I'm like, yeah, do you want a pony?
Right.
But
Ask
I was
anything.
up all night long just
Yeah.
praying and bringing him before the throne of grace and mercy. And the next day when we got the results that he was just anemic, I was over the moon. But I remember sharing that on a platform. And this woman came up to me at the end and she said, I got the other phone call.
Yeah.
And just as I'm about to apologize, she said, no. What you need to know is whether you get the answer you pray for or the answer you dread, God is present.
Yes, He
Yeah.
God is there.
Yes.
God is real.
That's good.
And it was
Yeah.
such a gift to me from this beautiful woman who was walking through a struggle with her son. She said, no, you need to know God's as faithful when you get the bad phone call as he is when you get the good one.
And to be honest, I think sometimes I sense his presence more in the struggle.
That's true.
Absolutely.
Right? I don't know why that is.
Well, because you release
Maybe
the
that's it, you
control.
release-
It's like you
Yeah.
just don't have, what
Yeah.
else you gonna do?
Because like you're at the end of yourself.
Yeah.
Right. Isn't that where his strength is magnified in our weaknesses,
Yeah.
right? So when we're at the
His
end of our
office
rope,
is at the end of our rope.
that's right.
And I don't know why people think that certain Christians are exempt from the attacks of the enemy.
Do you know any of those people?
No, I don't know any of those people.
Get close enough to anybody, you're going
You're gonna
know.
realize that you are
Everybody
not
has a
exempt.
story.
Everybody has a story,
Yeah.
regardless if you're on the platform or you're in the pulpit. In the seats.
Yeah.
It's like you're gonna have a story, and I mean the Bible talks about it. It's no respecter of person. I mean, come on, the same attacks that the enemy uses on you, he's going to use on somebody
Yes.
else, right? So.
And the story's never over. It's over after we
Yeah.
move on to heaven.
That's right.
But the story continues, so the walk of faith continues, because that's the only way we can please God, is the righteous walk by faith. So how do you know you're righteous unless your faith's called upon?
Right.
So it's going to be a continual walking out in the victory that God has already provided for us, but standing on the promises of God and His faithfulness.
And I feel like I am just the battles that I've fought, whether it was health battles or financial, marriage. Marriage is not easy either, right? So some of that, I know yours is
I'm
easy.
kidding.
Yours is
But-
perfect.
But I feel like I am a stronger woman,
Yeah.
right? I'm a stronger believer because I've had to fight.
Yeah.
I don't, right?
Yeah.
Hi everybody, I hope you enjoyed this video. Subscribe today and you'll never miss a new upload. Thanks for being a part of our Better Together community.